Welcome to a new video. We are the YOLO Family Vans. My name is Zara and I will be your host today in this video. We have traveled around Europe for 2 full years during COVID as a family, and we've gained experience. We are now doing a 1-year Pan-America trip as a family together. Right now we are in Antigua, Guatemala, and right behind me is a humongous volcano. With all this experience, we can build you your own van. Right now, I will be showing you our new van over here, Life, meaning live it fully, everyone. Life. Now let's get to it. This is our van Life. It is a 2021 Sprinter 3500 4x4. It is an extended Sprinter, meaning it is the biggest size available. It runs on a 3-liter diesel engine. Everything you see added onto this van is built by our family company, YOLO Family Vans. Welcome to our outdoor lounge and where we sleep. Let me show you how we do both. As I said earlier, we are in our sleeping area and our lounge. You might be wondering, how do you do both? It's a very small space and you wouldn't really want to stay in your bed. Well, this is called an e-bunk elevator, a product made by us. This double bed where my brother and I sleep, and this queen bed where my parents sleep, go all the way up to the roof. That way you have space in the bottom to do school and all that other fun stuff. Max, can you get the lounge area ready? As you can see over here, the table went up really easily with just the press of a button down below by Max. Super easy. It can also go forward and back, side to side, and it can rotate a full 360 degrees with just the press of a button. Another feature I really like about this area is the monitor setup. Let me show you what that is. We store our monitor in this shelf here above my seat. It is super easy to access and it clicks into this mount to stay up. We use our monitors for work or school, and most importantly, movie nights. It is super easy to take our monitor on and off and is a great feature in our van. Now, I just need to push the garage in by pressing the 2 yellow locks to close the door. Right now, I will be showing you our sealed box and our vented box over here. I need to get a key out. So this is our sealed box. We store many stuff like soccer balls, hammocks, all the easy accessible outdoor equipment that we have, like fishing, more fun stuff that we have here. We also have these steps to access the top box. This box is really cool because it has access to electricity, so you can plug whatever you need inside. Now let me show you what these steps are used for and how to access this top box. Voila! So this box, we sometimes call it the wetsuit box because we store all our wet equipment that we have in here, because it has a vent over here that lets it dry. So whenever we're done, we don't need to hang our clothes outside and have to waste some time. We just put it right here and it's dry. As you can see over here, we have all our stickers, all the places and countries that we've overlanded in. We have just added our Guatemala sticker into our collection, traveling in 29 different countries and 4 continents, and we are so close to reaching our 5th continent, South America. When locking these boxes, we have a very special tip. We put the lock upside down. That way, whenever dust or water comes in, it wouldn't go inside because it's upside down. This way, it keeps your lock lasting longer and working properly. Right over here, we have our fuel and water containers. This one labeled diesel is just for diesel, so when we need to store some diesel, like going through Baja, very useful. The other 3 are used just for water, so when we need to fill up and there's like a tap far away and we can't bring the car close enough for the hose to reach, fill it up with these things, put it inside, and you're good. There are 4 in total, they are easy to use, and they are locked, so only we can use it and nobody else. Right over here is our water fill-up station. There are 2 ways that we fill up our water. Here with the hose through all the fancy attachments, and there's a hole right over here that you can just pour into the tank and you're good. Over here we have our hose. We have 2 sides of our hose, easy to connect to any system. This goes into our van, like this. Click, done. and this side goes to wherever the source is coming from. This is how we connect our hose to the source. We have this gray thread over here. That way, we don't ruin our actual thread in our hose. It's easier to replace this one, it's harder to replace the hose. So here we go, threading it in, tight and secure, and now with our quick connect, we just click, and then the water can go. There are different fittings we have on board so we can connect to any water tap in the world. This makes our water fill-up super easy and convenient. It is very easy to use this system because they are quick connects and quick disconnects. Make sure you drain the hose when you're done, so that way water's not inside your van. Then we put it in this mesh over here. Sometimes we're filling up water at night, especially when it's really dark, it's hard to see everything. So with this press of a button, the light turns on. You can see a lot of stuff. Another thing we have is this tool. You might be wondering, what is this even for? But let me show you. We call it the spacer because you just put it right here. It basically puts a space in between the door. The really cool thing about this is it still locks. So when you lock your car, you can still have a little space for venting and fresh air, especially when we're sleeping. It is super nice and safe. Over here, we have our garbage bag. It is very useful to put all our trash, firewood, and all the stuff we don't really feel like putting inside, outside. These plastic bottles, you might think they're garbage, but they're not. They're very useful to us. We fill it up with water, put it out in the sun, let it warm up, and we put these special caps with a hole in it. You can shower with it. It's very useful for when we're away from the van and we can't use our hose and warm water. You just take this and shower after going into the ocean. Another cool thing about this bag is that it doesn't look too nice that people would want to steal. So all your stuff inside is safe and probably no one would want to take it. This rack over here in the back. It has airplane tracks on it that lets you attach these little hooks on very easily, so you can just hook all the rugged things that you need outside that you don't really want to store inside. This mini propane tank right here. It is very useful for when we want to barbecue outside and we don't feel like cooking inside and using our diesel. That way we can have like a cool barbecue out with friends. Another part we have attached to our rack is this shovel right over here. We have it strapped on and it's very secure and easy to use, especially when we get stuck, which is quite often. A lot of people find it really hard to offload and load their bikes, especially for seniors or for me. Like whenever I wanted to use our bikes in our Europe trip, I always needed my dad. But this way, we can get it myself. All we have to do is get this remote, press the button to go down, and it goes down. We can load 3 bikes and 2 e-bikes on here. It is very strong. Instead of putting 3 bikes for us, we put scooters instead because we find those very useful for going around the city. The bikes just came down 1.1 meters. This is very good to solve the problem of getting the bikes off the rack. Now it's really low to the ground and almost anyone can use it really easily. Right over here and here, we have airplane tracks. The same thing that was used in the back rack with this little hook thing. We use it to hook clothes, snorkels, and all that fun stuff very easily on these racks, anywhere along here. We have an extra fuel tank over here that fills up separately. It helps us double our range so that way we can last longer distances in more isolated places, especially when gas stations are more spread out, and so that we can fill up on cheap gas whenever we're crossing borders, so to save money. Recovery boards right here, 4 of them in total. Very useful for helping us get out of like sand and all that fun off-roading business, especially in Baja. Here we have 3 surfboards permanently put up on the top. It's a little high up, so it's more safe and secure. That way people don't steal it. We also have a middle storage section right over here where this foam is. We use it to store all our inflatable paddle boards whenever we don't feel like putting it away, like deflating and then putting them on the roof. That way, it's super easy to take on and off when we're beach bumming and hopping to beaches. We use the airplane tracks right over here to help tie those temporary surfboards and paddle boards down. Right here, you'll see we have like a snorkel thing. You might think it's for going underwater and being super adventurous, but no. It is just to get clean air into the engine, especially when it's like super hot down below. Clean, cold air from up top. So not for snorkeling underwater with the van. The snorkel also looks pretty cool in the van too, so that's a very special bonus. Have massive lights up in the front to help us drive at night. Let me show you how they look like. We have lots of lights to help us drive safely at night. We have floodlights for the front, right and left side lights for outside activities, and lights at the back of the van. Now that we're done with the lights, let me show you what's underneath them, just above the windshield. There is a clear film you cannot see. It is used as protection, especially with this big tall van. A lot of branches come in our way. This rope also helps us too. The rope and the clear film help to prevent scratches on the van. Another thing that helps prevent scratches on our van is this orange truck bed liner. It is on this side, front, and in the bottom here. Here's our skid plate with the orange truck bed liner. And if you go behind me, we have our suspension, and it has a 2-inch lift. Super helpful when we're off-roading, like in Baja. Really makes the drive so much better. Right over here, we have this rope, super helpful for just hanging quick wetsuits, all that fun stuff. It's always here and always available. Right over here, it's a lock. So we basically just insert this key and it twists like this. There is another lock on both the passenger side and the driver's side doors, so that way our 3 front doors are completely locked and safe, especially when we're in unknown places or sketchy places. Helps us keep secure. Right over here we have our table. It's attached to an airplane track, as I said earlier. These airplane tracks are super great, as I keep saying. They're super helpful and very recommended. This table is super sturdy, great for just hanging outside like right now. Now, over here, as you can see, we have our ladder. The reason why our ladder is not attached to the van is because we don't want people climbing up without us knowing. So we keep it inside, safe and secure whenever we need it. Just take it out. We are now on the roof. As you can see over here, we have 2 boxes. We can open them up. We store a lot of our winter items like jackets, sweaters, stuff that we don't need at the moment, and a lot of our sporting goods like paddle boards, rollerblades, kites, all the stuff we don't need as much, but we can still access them. We also have our Starlink right over here. This Starlink can fit inside this box whenever we're not using it to safely put inside. We have our Starlink up here. It is completely wired into our van, so we don't need to take the wire out and have to fumble around with it. Sometimes, some people have their Starlink outside and they have to put their wire through their door, meaning they can't close their door when they want to have internet. So this way it's not as flexible for them to use their internet and they have a lot of difficulty using it. Also, when it's up here, it's safe, so people cannot steal it. And we can also deploy it whenever we want to and not have to worry about people on the sidewalk damaging it if we're in the middle of a city. We have 2 very special sets of panels in this van. Before, in our Europe trip, my mom always wanted to park to see the view, but sometimes it wasn't pleasing because the sun was in the incorrect orientation to collect solar. And there could be other times where the only parking spot we found was also in the incorrect orientation to collect solar. So my brother and my dad came up with this solution. My brother got this patented along with my dad when he was 12 years old. Their solution was to tilt the panel in 4 directions to maximize the solar that it can get. They managed to find a way to do it and increase our solar collection by 300%. Each set of panel collects 350 watts, in total 700 watts in this van. Let me show you how we do it. Super easy to take on and off. And we just put it down when we want to drive. If you are interested in having this, make sure to contact us. Again, if you're interested in our 4-way tilting solar panel, make sure to contact us or visit our website at YOLOFamilyVans.ca. Welcome to the sliding door. Right now, I'm going to show you probably one of the cheapest parts but most helpful in the van. It's this shoe brush. So basically, this shoe brush helps with after coming back from the beach or coming after a muddy hike, you just brush your foot off or really any dirty thing that you want right here before you bring it inside the van. Super helpful to keep the van clean. It's outside, easy to use, right there. This awning stick, it fits perfectly right here. You just take it out, super easy to access, and then you take the awning out, just like that. The awning in our van is the biggest you can buy in the market. It comes out 3 meters and gives a lot of shade for hot days. We also attached hooks to the awning so we can hang any of our wet clothes or gear. We also have an outdoor shower right over here. Let me just loosen it up. We use this to shower and to wash our car sometimes and our feet. It has hot and cold water and you can adjust the pressure like this. We use it a lot, especially when cleaning the footwell here because it gets really dirty. A mag light, easy access for safety and just for everyday use. Mosquito net. The mosquito net is like really out of the way when we don't need it, but let me show you how we bring it down. All it is like this. So there are zippers on both sides to help seal it. And it is super easy to put back up. You just gotta roll it like this. Now it's out of the way and you have free access to this area. Another thing I really love about the sliding door area, probably my favorite part, is the airplane track. As you can see, I have my hammock here, and the airplane track, which is located just above here. The airplane track, if you forgot, has these things that can attach onto it. Take the hammock out, and I can hook it on. And now, we have a hammock in our van. Down here, we have our diesel heater. Super helpful, especially as us Canadians when it gets cold. Down here, we have our YOLO magnetic koozies. We've used these quite a lot. They hold our drinks and we can stick them right onto the car. Over here, we have all our electronics, our laptops, our chargers, our e-readers, all that fun stuff. Mostly all our easy accessible stuff we use quite often. Over here is our electric fly squatter, super helpful. This is our vacuum, stored in this pouch right behind my dad's seat or the driver's seat. Really good for cleaning stuff around and it's super small and handy. Boombox for movie nights or when you want to play music at picnics. Finally, we have our Canada flag right over here. We make everybody who has meant something to us on our trips sign it. Sorry if we missed you because we're not the best at remembering that. But it is such a great souvenir that we have and also stored, as you can see, behind my dad's seat. As you can see, there are 4 seats here. These are all 4 power seats, meaning it can fit 4 people comfortably, perfect for long drives, especially what we do on these trips. Down below, over here, is my school drawer, me and my brother. So basically, all our books, all our stuff, even some board games in the far back fit. It reaches when going in all the way to the end, right here. It's double locking, so you need to press both these knobs to go back in or out. We have the perfect storage for our yoga mats because Max sits over here and he's never gonna reach this spot anyways, so. We have storage. Max's dinosaurs actually go in here, but he's using them right now, but he Tetrised them in and perfect spot for them. Over here, there's 2 hooks and another 2 set of hooks right here. Like that. There's also a plug right over here. It has 2 USBs, as you can see, our fans are plugged into. Our plugs are located all around the van, easy to access and perfect. Up here, we have our transparent Lexan shelf. It is super easy to use. It is super accessible and you can see everything from the bottom. For example, let's say you shoved a glove. You would look under in the bottom and you're like, oh look, that's where I found it. And you can easily get it. We also keep our first aid here because it is so easy to access. Whenever an emergency comes, just reach in, get all the stuff you need, and you're done. Another thing we have for safety is this. It has a flare gun and an air horn inside. These 2 things can cross borders very easily and is legal. We also have a printer up here. Super helpful for when doing school or printing out documents before crossing borders or doing work in general. A bunch of people have used ours, so it's super handy to have one. Down below, we have 2 cameras. They're hooked on and with a mechanism over here, really easy to use. You just snap it on and off. Just perfect for when you're like driving and you're like, oh, look at that, I want to take a picture, and you're just like, snap. Our hats over here. They're put in with these 2 ropes, either side of the headpiece, and they've never fallen off and they're always secure right there. Super easy to access too and out of the way. Right over here is like the gaming, working school station. It has everything set up. We have my headphone mount and it just hooks in like that. It's super easy to get and just right there. This switch mount over here, there's magnets in the back that connect to these phone mounts. It snaps in like this, like with the magnets, and it's in the perfect condition for both of us to see. There are also, with the same kind of mounts the Switch has, but for the phones, we have them over here. All our phones just plug in and mount, and they're always there, easy and charging. This light over here, super helpful for when we want to do school in the dark. Tap, done. Up here we have more storage. as you can see over here. This is a 40-inch high-resolution monitor. We adjust it and hook it up into the back. That way we can watch movies or use it for work or school or video games sometimes. Over here are my mom's clothes. These are my brother's clothes. And the covers slide in like that. We use the sliding covers because it doesn't rattle as much as the other ones would. And they're super easy to use. Back here we have 4 hooks. These are all for our reused clothes, so that way we don't waste stuff and put too much laundry. And we have our smoke detector. We need a smoke detector so that way we know if there's a fire going on. Down below here, we would store our ladder, the table that goes in our airplane tracks just outside that's sort of like hooked in, and another table we have. I will show you where it goes. It would go in right here. First off, before I do that, I gotta swivel these seats. This seat is a factory swivel seat, so it's not raised. It's perfect for us short people. This piece would slide into this bar over here. And then let's get the table. See this knob? It goes inside the hole right here. Now we have a table. This is perfect for when people are sleeping in the back or this table's occupied and you want to have dinner. And you can also adjust the height. For example, right now it's a little too high for me. I can lower it down easily with the knob down here, and it's perfect for everyone to use. Now it's time to take this table off and put it back in. As you can see, we have Velcro over here. Velcro is super helpful when you're trying to make items in your van or car not rattle. For example, we put Velcro here and attach it onto somewhere in the van. For example, down here, which I'll show you. It goes in like this. And now it won't rattle. More Velcro. No rattling. Big part. This also has Velcro. Now it's gonna stay there and won't fall. Now I'm gonna put the ladder in. Whoa! And it all fits back here. Super safe, secure, not gonna fall when we drive, and it's out of the way. Over here we have our laundry. It's a perfect spot. It's small, it's put away, tucked away, and it closes and locks with this lever. With our amazing looking logo over here, helps it vent. So that way it doesn't mold, stink, all that fun stuff and not venting. This is basically the start of our kitchen. So, opening up, this is where we put all our heavy cooking supplies and oils, like all that fun stuff, because it's in the bottom so it won't like fall. My mom did a great job of packing these like Tetris to make sure they would fit, and that way they would close. Like, look how close that is. And there's like not a single spot to put anything left here. So up here we have our containers, all the random stuff for cooking and baking. Wow. My favorite part, the snack drawer. So basically the snack drawer has all our stuff. I really like it because when you're hungry you can just get stuff. And my clothes drawer. I keep my drawing pad over here because it's safe so it won't crack or something like that. And yeah, this is where all my clothes are. And top one, this is where my dad's stuff go. All these clothes are here, and we have our bed sheets, pillowcases, towels, all that fun stuff up here. Now let's close them. All of these lock with an electromagnet, so when the car's turned on, the electromagnet turns on and all the drawers are locked. They also have holes here, as you can see. Helps to reduce the weight so we can save and use it for more stuff, and so that way we can see what's inside. Over here is an extension to our counter, which is quartz. It is super helpful, especially for my mom when she wants to cook or make smoothies, but still see the view because it has access to the sliding door. It's awesome, especially in this small space. All you gotta do to take it down is push the 2 levers in the bottom, and you gotta push hard to lock it in. Over here is where we store all our shoes. We all have 1 compartment each, and we have, it's the same kind of hook as we have for our reused clothes, and we use it for like the sahans, which are basically like just wipes for the floor. These is where we put all the dirty stuff. Beer opener, and this is our Webasto cooktop controller. It is run on diesel. It is the same diesel that we use for our van. We try our very best to be single fueled. The reason why we don't use propane is because different countries have different threads. Even though we have our own adapters, especially in our Europe trip, some countries won't allow us to use those adapters because they are illegal. It's so hard to fill up propane. That's why we don't do it anymore. And also, the moisture would pile up top when we cook with propane. So we don't want to ruin our van or just have to wipe it all the time. So diesel, simple, done. People might be wondering, why don't you use electricity? Well, we would like to save on electricity, especially when we're going off-grid. We would like to last a long time. So with this diesel cooktop, we can last a long time with electricity, save on looking for propane, and it's just much simpler with the single fuel fill-up. Over here we have two different kinds of faucets, one with the spray and drinking water. We make our own drinking water with a 5-stage filter. We are all independent. We get our water through any garden hose and we can make it clean and safe to drink. Big sink. This sink is great for when we have to do dishes, especially with big pots after a big meal or doing laundry. Over here we have a plug. We use it quite often, especially with our Instapot. We keep our Instapot in the sink, plug it in, and drive. It is the right thing to do, especially when we want to conserve energy for later uses. You keep the Instapot in here, and the car is basically giving the energy, so you don't have to worry about saving it or anything. We also have our soap dispenser over here, and we have a stainless steel backsplash. Here we have our paper towel holder. This towel holder is amazing because it clicks. This is great, especially when we're driving and we're going on bumpy roads. You don't want this to go like sliding all the way out and making a whole mess here. You just put it here and it stays secure, not falling out and not gonna roll out. Another useful thing we have here is this Lexan transparent shield. Super helpful when we're doing dishes, especially with the bed so close by. You don't want stuff to splash onto it. So this helps keep our beds clean. So this dish rack is super helpful. We hook it over here in this humongous sink and it hooks onto this bar over here. That way you're ready to put all your dishes onto it and it's super safe and easy to use. Over here you can check how much water we have in our 160 liter tank. For example, if I press fresh, it says we have 100% of water in our tank. You can also check how much water you have in your gray tank in percentages. 17% of our gray tank full. And down we go for the lights. This is our cabin light, which is basically these lights along here. Click that, you turn off. This snowflake looking thingy is for our electromagnets in the back of our drawers. For example, let's say the car is on, but we still want to access something in our drawers. All we gotta do, hold, and open any door we want. This is an awning light for outside. When we want to picnic outside and eat outside, click this on, and you have light outside. The water pump here lets us get access to our water. If we turn it off, the water will stop coming and the pump will just shut down. Let's turn it on for now because we still need water. This button over here with the fan logo turns on and off our fan. Just in case if something wrong happens, we can click it and reset it. These two buttons over here control our floor heater and the heater in the back. The floor heater is super helpful, especially in cold situations, especially in Canada as us Canadians. So it is truly a lifesaver and a great addition to the van. The two heaters are redundant heaters, so if one breaks, we are still good to go and not freezing cold. The last two buttons we have over here, the up arrow and the down arrow, control our e-bunk elevator in the back. For example, if I press it up, the bed starts going up. If I press it down, it starts going down. So those are the buttons over here. This remote with the Velcro in the back, this controls our AC right here. This controls our fan, our max air fan, right above, right there. And this controls our bike rack in the very back, our e-bike rack. Up, down, and stop. Right over here is where we store all our cups, plates, and all the other kitchen supplies that we have that we want to easily access. Same sliding door configurations as the other ones we have, so no rattling. Over here is like our bathroom area. This section is for our cooktop, so that's out of the way. We have all our toilet paper, our wipes, easy access for the washroom right across. So if you're ever doing your business, just opening this drawer and voila. This is our bathroom drawer is what we call it. All our toothbrushes, medication, floss, and soaps and deodorants are all over here. So they're all perfectly stacked up and in this small spot. Down here, we have all our plates, bowls, more spices, and all that stuff. The top one is cutlery. Down on the bottom, similar to the drawer on the other side, all the heavy stuff right here, like all our pots and pans, and yeah, all the heavy stuff that we do not want to fall. So that's that. And underneath the sink, we store a lot of our cleaning chemicals and all that fun stuff, and our garbage. To go in more detail about our electromagnets in the back, as you can see, this door is opening because the electromagnet is not on, so it's just a metal piece in the back. But when we want to turn on our electromagnet, we need to start the car. Can you turn on the car? Now the drawer is locked. I can't open it at all. But when I press this button over here, I can open the drawer. But this way, it keeps the drawer safe when you're driving so it doesn't slide open. It's our washroom with a shower. This is our self-cleaning door, which push, open. Inside is a fully welded bathroom. We did fully welded so you don't have to replace it with silicone every couple of years, and there's going to be 0 leaks at all. Up top is this light, on and off, and a fan inside, in which you can press. So that way, if someone's doing their business, when they're done, just close the door and just vent all this stuff out. We have our 2 soap dispensers over here, and on the other side we have hooks. We usually use the hooks for bathing suits or laundry that we want to dry, or sometimes extra soaps we want to hang. Very useful for just random uses if something's wet, just put it in the washer. Down here we have our composting toilet. Composting toilet is the way to go. You just have to empty the number 1 separately, so much cleaner and less disgusting because they're not mixing. The coolest feature in this washroom is our recirculating shower. So this shower can recirculate the water, meaning it can bring water and filter it back up using only 2 liters of water. So you can save so much water and still have a long, hot, warm shower. And it has a 4-stage filter, so you do not have to worry about it getting dirty and going onto you again. Down here is where all our filters are. There's 4 filters as you can see, and there's the fire extinguisher over here for safety. Check out this AC. This is a high-efficient DC air conditioner. We were able to run this air conditioner without losing a single bit of energy from our batteries with our tilting solar panels. We were so happy we had this feature. In Baja, the sun came to us all day. It was so hot. But with the solar, we could run this thing all day. Here is another control panel. These 2 are for our recirculating shower. This one's for the power button for on and off. And this is our second heater for hot water, another redundant system. Right over here we have a toaster, oven, microwave, and toast heat wave all in the same place. Over here we have another storage, and this is where our mirror is. It's super close to the sink, so if we need to brush our hair and do bathroom stuff, it's right here. Then over here is a touchscreen control panel. It checks out our inverter control, our battery status, and whether we're charging or not charging. Down here is our fridge and freezer. Our freezer is in the top part and the fridge is in the rest, so we're able to make smoothies with ice from our freezer and enjoy fruits that are cold. Welcome to the top bed where Max and I sleep. Over here we have a light. There's also a fan and a vent inside, which you can adjust. And we have 2 other lights, here and here. If you turn this one off, you can have your own individual reading lights. There is also a plug right over there that we can use with a house plug and 2 USBs. Over here we have 2 motors. These motors help bring the beds up to the ceiling. They are a redundant system, so if one motor breaks, the other will still work and bring the beds up safely. If something happens, there is an option to manually crank the beds up. This orange belt is what's holding the bed I'm on, my bed, and the black one is what's holding my parents' bed. The black one will go all the way up and bring all the beds up. If you ever want to just bring my bed up, you just have to pull this rope on all four ends and bring the bed up manually. That way you can set up a movie night down below in my parents' bed and still sleep comfortably. Let me show you how to bring the beds up. These are the different modes our bed can be in. The first one is perfect for when the top bed is not needed and it gives the lower bed more space. We use this mode when watching movies so we can mount our monitor on. The second mode is our sleeping mode and it fits all four of us and our family. Lastly, this mode has all the beds up in the ceiling. We use this mode during the day when we need to access our dining table to do work, school, or other activities. Now we are in the lounge. We use this place a lot for our meals, school, work, game nights. It's such a great place to be in. There's so much light. For example, this main bar here, it can be dimmed and brightened. Super handy. We also have this fan over here. You connect it with a USB down here and it has a Velcro which can be attached in multiple places around this lounge. Like over here, and it can be rotated with the Velcro. You can customize it to your needs, and it's super easy to use. There are also a bunch of hooks around here, like right over here. We would sometimes put our car keys, hang some clothes that we have that we need to be dried, or towels. It's just super convenient and easy to use. All our walls are made out of vegan leather, so it is easy to clean and backed with expanded PVC. This way, our walls are lighter and more resistant and won't get moldy. We also have R10 ridge foam insulation to keep the inside of our van more comfortable. This helps us stay cool when it's hot and warm when it's cold. Now, let me show you the garage. With this configuration, you can fit so much more people. We fit 7 people, but you can for sure do much more. We love spending time with family and friends in this configuration, and you can be outside and inside at the same time. Now let me show you the windows. We have 4 in total in this whole van, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. They are all double pane and prevent condensation. They are great insulators. We made sure our windows are really big so we can have a great view of wherever we are. These windows are great for ventilation and security. We have different positions for our windows. Let me show you. This is what we call 0. It's completely sealed and very safe. This is what we call 1. There's a small crack to let ventilation come through. This is level 2 with a bigger gap. Level 3 has a bigger gap. And level 4 is the biggest you can get with the most ventilation and air, fresh air coming in. Charging cables over here. There's USB ports, 2 on each side, that help charge our phones and any other device that we need like fans. There are also reading lights on each side for my parents, just in case if they want to use it. Now, let's look at the beds. As you can see, there's little holes over here. These are for vents. With our experience in our past trip, our beds got a lot of moisture in the bottom. So, with our new trip in our new van, we made sure there was a lot of vents to help air flow through, so no moisture comes in. Also, in the bottom of our mattress, there's these curly little plastic things that help space out the mattress and the wood. That also prevents mold from happening. Right down here, we have our filters. We can make our own drinking water from any water source, gas stations, lakes, garden hoses. You put it in the tank and we can filter it. We have a 5-stage filter for our drinking water, so it's completely safe and independent. Down here, under all these noodles, as you can see, we use the storage very well and we maximize everything, is our water tank. Right here in this nozzle, this is the second way that we are able to bring water in. So we all have to just open the screw up and we can pour water in directly into the tank. Right over here is what I call like the Grand Master. It completely shuts off all the power coming in and out of this van, so you can turn off all the appliances, all the plugs. We use this for when we're shipping our vans. That way nothing goes on inside the van, it's like shut down. It's also for safety. So like, yeah, electricity doesn't go through when we're not noticing. And we use it for when we're storing our van too. So that way nothing happens when we're not looking at the van electronically. So Grand Control switch, magic right here. Right over here, we have smaller switches. These turn off. It's similar to the big switch, but more for smaller sections of the van. So as you can see, stove and all the other stuff. The reason why it's behind this cover is so that we don't accidentally switch anything. If you want to switch it on and off, you gotta stick a pen in and switch it with the pen. That way it's safe and no accidental flicks go on. Let me show you our electrical system right over here. I'm currently sitting on a clear leg stand to keep me safe and not on top of all these electronics. We have a lithium battery underneath with 860 amp hours. We also have 3 different ways to charge these batteries, another redundant system. The first way we have is with solar. We have 2 sets of solar panels up top and 2 controllers. Another redundant system we have is our alternator charging, meaning we get energy when we start driving. This is another great way that we get energy and one of our most common ones. We have 2 alternators while we're driving. We can choose to collect energy from one, or the second one, or both at the same time, depending on the situation. Another way to charge is with shore power, meaning power from a house, or like the normal electricity wires coming through. This van is able to adjust to any frequency and voltage from any plug in the world for true expedition vehicles. Redundancy is important in our systems because over here, we're in Guatemala and Amazon doesn't come right away the next day. We may have to wait for months, and with those months, we will need to survive off those days. So having backups is super important, especially when you're living off-grid. This blue box over here helps our car battery if it's dead. It takes the house battery and puts some into the car battery so we can run our car just in case if we run out. No jumper cables are needed and we are self-sufficient. Over here we have a compressor. The reason why our compressor is inside and not in the front by the engine is because one of our friends had it in the engine and it completely melted, so they could not use it. We keep it here to keep it in a perfect temperature and so that we can still use it and it's clean. This compressor has 2 ports, one in the very front and one in the back where this hose follows. We use it quite often to blow off dust, especially with my brother. He likes to play around in the sand sometimes when we're in sand dunes. So after when he's done, before we go inside the van, we just spray him off, all the sand's gone and it's perfect. We also use it to inflate our tires, especially in Baja when there's big roads. After we deflate them, we can inflate them by ourselves independently. Let me show you how it's done. So right now we have it connected to this piece. All you gotta do is pull this trigger and you can use it for whatever you want. Where this hose follows is a sealed box to keep this hose clean. Right over here, this is how we fill up and inflate our tires after a big off-roading bumpy road. Here we are under the hood. Right over here is our second connection to our compressor. Follow this orange tube. Here's where it's connected. We also have shore power plugs right over here. We can connect and get energy into our batteries so we can plug in and last longer in places for energy. And we can also take energy here. There's a house plug right over here that we can connect to. My dad uses it a lot for like when he's shaving my brother and cutting hairs and all that fun stuff. Right over here we have breakers, one with 120 volts and one with 230 volts. You can just lock them in like this and they're completely safe. Now let's look at my mom's door, the passenger door. Right on this end, if you remember, I talked about us having locks in our front 2 doors and the sliding door. Well, this is one of them. And there's another one that looks exactly the same on the driver door. This helps us keep our doors locked with another extra lock in more sketchy places so we keep our van safe. Down over here, we have 2 pockets. Over here is where we keep all our Lulu bags and our shopping bags. So for like random uses of let's say we want to pack a bag to go picnicking or grocery shopping. So that's what we use them for. Down below, we have our outdoor brush, very similar to the brush down below for our feet by the sliding door over here, but we use it for more portable things. Another tool we have are these clippers or snippers. Especially in Europe and also here in South America, Central America, we end up in small, very small roads outside in the middle of nowhere with trees and branches sticking out, and with our massive van, it's sometimes impossible to go through those without these. So my brother and I would climb up onto the side of the door, hold onto a handle on the roof rack, which is super easy to hold onto, and we'd snip all the branches as my dad would drive through. If the branches are really big, we have a saw. This saw is also super helpful for cutting away branches. They're all easy accessible right over here. Now let's look on this side. This is what we call our short person stool because we're not that tall. My mom sits here so she can't sit and reach the floor, so there's a space where her feet are dangling. We decided to use that space for storage. We store all our camping chairs over here, 4 in total, and we would put some extra bags and our picnic blankets over here. The picnic blankets are not here because my brother is using them to play with his dinosaurs because we're filming here, so yeah. Short person stool, super helpful to save storage and space. Right over here is our second diesel tank gauge. You can see how much diesel in our second tank we have. This section you can control our heater, which is located right behind me, which I showed you earlier in the video. And we have walkie-talkies. We also have a walkie-talkie built into the car. We use this quite often when we're going grocery shopping in markets or in places where we don't have signal, when we need to scout for sleeping spots, for parking, or just helping direct in general. We have the driver use this one and people outside use this one. It snaps in there like that. There we go. We also have a switch down here. This helps us empty our gray tank, so that way we do not need to get dirty at all and we can do it all inside and we're still clean. And down here in the middle, not down, but in the middle, we have a bubble level right here. This lets us see how even we are for sleeping spots, and it's super handy, especially when we're trying to find a good spot to sleep in the middle of nowhere when it's a little bumpy, so we can adjust ourselves so we have a good sleep. Up here we have our visor. On the passenger side, it has a mirror that's foldable. Super handy, for example, when the kitchen is super crowded and I can't use the mirror there. I just sit here and use the mirror. We store a lot of easy accessible electronics up here, like our battery pack. Sometimes we put sunglass cases and our GoPro. Up here we have our dash cam, one for inside and one for outside, so we can see what's going on around the car at all times. Super great to see if any accidents have come or if someone tries to steal stuff inside. Right over here we have our sunglass holder. For the sunglasses that we want to have easily accessible, we just put it on the string that goes across from passenger visor to the driver visor. It's one of those tips that not many people know of, and it's super easy and great to just hook and unhook. Right here, this control panel has our compass, our altitude, and our coordinates all in the same spot, and our level. So when we're driving, we can look and get all the information we want in here. And it is also a mini GPS. Up here we have our switches. These switches are super helpful for putting on our floodlights, our side lights whenever we're sitting outside or something. Especially our backlights too, whenever we're filling up water, just in case we need some more light. We also have our compressor button over here, and we have our horn. Up in the top here we have more USB plugs. Super helpful for charging our GoPros, battery packs, our gimbal, all the stuff that just needs to be charged and easy accessible, which usually are stored up here. Up here we have our voltage meter, super helpful to know the health of our batteries. Thank you so much for watching this video. As you know, we are doing our Pan America trip. We are currently in Antigua, Guatemala. If you have any questions at all about the van, our kits, our family, or our travels, visit our website, YOLOFamilyVans.ca, or check out our Facebook, Instagram, or just comment down below on here on YouTube. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again.